Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Okay guys, we're going to do a showcase of my newest mythical champion, someone we can all earn over time, EMBRYS the Anomaly. And actually a lot of us are going to be picking him up basically now. You know, it's the sort of time where we've been playing enough time to pick him up. If you're someone who plays at a decent level, taking down the Chimera at 2 different difficulties a day. Even on my free-to-play, in the first 3 months of playing, I'd actually already got over, I think I'd got like 30 to 40 fragments of this dude. And I was picking them up consistently, like 3 or 4 fragments a week at that point. So definitely one of the most, I guess, achievable for that mid-game into late-game type of champs. And honestly, meta-defining right now. Like, this guy is absolutely top tier when it comes to Arena. Also, basically, he's kind of crazy in other content as well. If you're looking for like that solo type champion, especially something like the Scarab boss, even in Cursed City, when you come up against a Scarab boss, he might be in the mix. So, you might be past Scarab boss on your main account for Doom Tower, but he could come in and solo it elsewhere. So this guy is really, really cool. And Dan, doesn't he look great as well, by the way? I love the aesthetic basically on his face. I love this type of pulse coming from his eye, going down his neck. Let's just check the other form out for visual as well. This one is also really freaking cool. Great job. I think my favorite thing about this form is the weapon, honestly. Really, really sweet. Great artwork. Anyway, so yeah, EMBRYS, I think everybody's going to want to build him out and use him in at least Arena, but if not, other content as well. So what's going on? We've got destroying max HP here on the A1 up to 30%. This is part of that Scarab boss hackery to just actually blow up his kind of like shield portion really fast. Also increases the duration of a random debuff on all enemies by a turn. It cannot be resisted if Necrosis is out there. I'll talk about Necrosis straight away, actually. So we're going to, whenever an enemy is killed, he places Necrosis on all other enemies. What does that mean? Necrosis is kind of like having a poison stack. Every time they take a turn, it's a poison stack that cannot be removed. And it persists. So the only way you get rid of Necrosis is if someone is revived, okay, from a dead ally. So it just keeps ticking away, cannot be resisted, cannot be blocked. The effect does not work against bosses, so it is really like a wave-based thing or an arena thing. At the start and end of this champion's turn, instantly activates any Necrosis stacks on all enemies. So he's the person who's making it pop. So the faster this guy is, the more often you're getting your Necrosis stacks to tick in. It's a really, really powerful ability, especially because it persists even when this guy is dead, which is pretty mad. As in, it still goes on them. So what we've got here as well, we've got... Oh, the other thing to note is it won't go on if like Stone Skin is out there, because Stone Skin's blocking those debuffs. As soon as Stone Skin ticks off, it goes on as if you'd landed it at that moment in time. So that's pretty mad as well. I don't think there's any other ability in the game that does that. So we've got here on his A2, places True Fear on all enemies and also decrease attack. These effects cannot be resisted if Necrosis is out there. So you do want to kill someone first, ideally. And then this is really where his meta-defining ability comes in. So he removes any Stone Skin buffs and replaces them with True Fear. That's the meta part. The crazy thing here is any of this removes element does not require any accuracy. So normally what happens is you attack someone and it's like, oh, and you've got this chance to remove a buff. When the text says and replaces with, for some reason in this game, that Raid are like, well, you don't need accuracy if you're going to replace it. So it's weird. To me, it feels like it's broken, but we've been told time and time again, it's working as intended. So what happens here is you remove any of these buffs. The chance to place the debuffs back on the enemy does need accuracy. So what will happen is I will 100% remove Stone Skin with this part. And then I will have a chance to place the True Fear depending on whether my accuracy beats the resistance of the enemy. Super weird. So block debuffs gets replaced with block buffs. Increase attack becomes decrease attack. Heals and strengthen swap with heal reduction and weaken. It's literally like the switcheroo for a really good buff for the enemy turns into a really harsh debuff. All of that's great, right? But then also steals 5% of each target's turn meter for each buff converted into a debuff. So again, you're only going to get a steal of turn meter if you've got enough accuracy to actually do the switcheroo, the proper switcheroo. You won't get the turn meter unless debuffs go back in their place. So that's worth noting. So it is worth having some accuracy on this guy, but I wouldn't build for accuracy. I wouldn't say like that's the primary goal, because his primary goal is remove stone skin, right? You remove that stone skin and then you want him to be a beefcake. So we'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, super, super cool. Let me just go back to this one. One thing I didn't say here is he gets another turn on this as well. So you can literally do this irrelevant as to whether you want to rip stone skin off like 2 of the enemy, because you go again anyway. So you may as well just true fear up a bunch of enemies, then go again and do this. The only risk to that is polymorph. So you should know your enemy before you do it. But anyway, we're going into some depth. So this ability also decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 20%. You will need accuracy for that. These effects cannot be resisted if enemies have any necrosis stacks. So if someone has died and necrosis is out there, all of this no longer needs accuracy at all. But you do need accuracy for the turn meter manipulation stuff and the debuffs going on. So super complex, honestly, for the average player to understand. So this is all like I'm controlling the enemy, I'm changing the meta in arena, because stone skin is everywhere. I don't think I ever fight a team where there's like, I've just been doing my siege attacks. There's at least 2 or 3 enemies that have got stone skin. Okay, so it's everywhere. And he is the only champion in the game that I think guarantees it gets wiped off. I think that's right. There's people that hit through it and stuff, but I think he's the only one who guarantees you can wipe it off. The only thing to be aware of is if this is a weak hit, he will not remove stone skin. You have to, so affinity is a thing. And also there's one other mechanic which is now becoming meta for high level players. Lightning Cage can protect the stone skin. So we're starting to see a lot of people switch to Lightning Cage as their blessing now, as a way to try and protect against EMBRYS. So again, see the way the meta kind of rolls, which is quite interesting. So when we switch to his other form, this is his beefcake form. I'm going to take you down. So if there's not a load of stone skin out there at the start of the fight, you can just switch form. You can put out those true fears, switch form, and then become a bit of a beefcake and start nuking stuff. So we've got an A1 here. We'll place an extra hit if the target's got necrosis already, but we'll block revive on the A1, and it hits pretty hard. It's not crazy hard. The damage is based on HP and accuracy. Mainly HP is what you want to be scaling here, though. But yeah, it hits pretty damn hard. We've got an A2, which is an AoE. Deals double damage to enemies whose accuracy is lower than his, or will ignore 50% defense on people that have got higher accuracy than him. Both ways, it's a ton of damage. Okay, so this skill hits really hard AoE. And obviously, as soon as you kill someone, necrosis is on. So we're getting more damage on everyone else. This A3 is a bit of a funky one. So this is how he's able to solo stuff. So he does his HP swap with enemies. But if it's a boss, he just goes, I'm going to heal myself to full. Okay, so this is how he's able to solo Scarab boss. He'll basically come to this form, do his A3, do a few hits or whatever, and then switch back to the other form where he's got more control and more sort of debuffs and stuff. So you kind of like switching forms to make that work. But yeah, you just heal yourself to full and keep going. There's probably going to be some builds out there eventually where this guy solos all sorts of all sorts of bosses. But like I think I could quite comfortably solo level 20 dragon like easily in regen set and stuff like that. But the question is, once you've got someone like this, do you need to? Is it worth it? All that type of stuff. Some people just want a champion that could solo stuff so they can bring food into the fight, So there will be stuff like that happens, I'm sure, as people get playing around with this guy. So if it's not a boss, though, he will swap HP with someone. So if you've got someone who's if you've got someone who's high HP and he's already taken a hit, you could go in there and be like, right, I'm going to go full HP. You can have my low HP. And then I get another turn and I'm probably going to block revive you. Okay, so some cool stuff that can be done with that as well. Each time this skill is used, increases this champion's ignore defense by 10% whilst they're in this form, the alternate form, up to 50%. So you can really get to the point where you've got 50% ignore defense, and you're ignoring another 50, you are doing true damage. You can get to that point with this guy quite quick. And this is something I was chatting about when I was stream testing this guy. I don't see a reason, even if the enemies are at full health, not to use this A3 before you use your A2. Because all you're doing is, even though you're not switching HP with anyone because your HP is already full, you're still getting another 10% ignore defense for this hit. And why not just get that damage rolling super fast? So that's definitely something to consider if you're going for the one shot. If you think it's going to be a long drawn out live arena fight, you might hold on to this. And when you've taken a hit, then do the HP swap before you do something else. Because that will also help you reduce the cooldown of this. Because let's say you do this first, A2, you're on a 3-turn cooldown. When you get another turn in live arena, you then use this first, which puts this actually on a 2-turn cooldown. Then you use this. Next turn you go, you've got your A2 back again. Okay, so it's almost like it's on a 2-turn cooldown instead of a 3 if you're using it in that way. So it's really interesting. The passive in this form, again, really interesting passive. So the passive effect, when this champion dies, reflects damage equal to 50% of the fatal hit back to the attacker, including surplus damage. So, you know, if he's low and someone whacks him for like 200k or whatever, he's going to reflect that damage back to whoever hit him and probably kill the attacker, right? So that's the first part. And then necrosis will go on everybody because somebody's died. And then the active part, which is on a 5-turn cooldown, if this champion is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit, puts revive on death on them, and pops him back up basically. So there's an element to say here, if it's a live arena longer fight or a siege longer fight, being in this form means that he's going to come back. So he's going to kill someone who's going to hit you hard. He's going to come back. And then when he's back, you might be able to do some of this health swap shenanigans and get him moving. So the way I've built mine out right now is Savage and Stone Skin. And I'm thinking just like classic arena fights. But probably it might be better to go for some sort of ignore defense. So call it Savage again. But I'm wondering if it's better to go for Pinpoint. So that I can't be sheeped on my like A2 or A3 of my base form. That's definitely like a strat. So this strat is like, I'm definitely going to take a turn with my Stone Skin and do damage. This strat would be, I'm mainly using him as a crowd control, not crowd control, I guess, like anti-Stone Skin type of thing. And I don't want to be sheeped in the meantime. So I think that's a vibe. So the way I built mine out was like pure damage on second form. So I've got over 100k HP, 262 speed, so quite fast actually, 282 crit damage, and I didn't go in for accuracy. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I think probably should build a bit more accuracy for this turn meter stuff. This turn meter manipulation here, even if it's like 230, you know, so I could probably just switch out this banner straight away now. I just wanted to go like pure damage, obviously, for the hits. Everyone likes the hits. Let's just hide filters and go for speed highest, right? So I could do this. I would lose 10k HP, which is a lot. It's a lot of my damage. That's 10% of my damage is going to fade away. So I could also just be like, actually, give me a bit more HP, please, game. Let's go mid on HP. So I could lose 7k HP and lose 10 speed, or I could lose like 1 speed and lose 10k HP. So these are the sort of things you got to weigh up for your builds. What do you want to do? And obviously, when I first built him, it was through optimizing him. So I was optimizing with a bit more effort, I would say, you know, in terms of like serious builds. But damn, I've got such few good accuracy banners in this faction. It's mental. So yeah, probably would just take this one. And so I'm going to lose 10% of my damage, but oh, actually, I don't want to take from Theodore. So maybe it's more like this one. Yeah, so you got to weigh up what you want, right? You got to weigh up what you're trying to do with your one and sort of where you want it to be. But I do feel like that extra accuracy is useful for, I noticed on stream, there's a number of times where I would have loved to have got some of that true fear away and that type of thing. So again, play it how you want to play it. Take the extra HP there, lovely. And then I've got some accuracy here, which I can just try and pump up a bit more as well, which I didn't do on the time. Of course, it rolls it crap. But yeah, this is the type of build which I went for in Stone Skin. As I say, Pinpoint would be really good as well. So I end up with like 95k HP, still got my crit damage, but now I've got enough accuracy to land some stuff. The other thing, which I haven't been able to do yet, is find a blessing for this guy. With mythical champions, you get a lot of stats. So straight away, with a 1-star blessing, if I got one, I would get 10k, over 10k of HP. His damage is HP. So it's huge. A 1-star on this guy is actually a massive buff. You then get at 4-star, another big buff. More HP and like 45% crit damage more. Huge buff. At 5-star, you then get yourself a load of accuracy. And at 6-star, you get the extra speed. 20 speed. Like, blessings are so crazy in terms of stat gains. So that would obviously be big. For the relic, now, you'd probably be like, Cat's Gaze might be the way to go. Ignore defense. He's already ignoring a lot of defense, and I think you cap it quite early. So I've just gone for something which gives me stats. Crit damage and HP. They're the two things I cared about with the build. But yeah, I don't have a lot of the sort of OP ones that I would rather pick. There are definitely a couple which would be insane on him if you were, lucky enough to grab them. So stuff like Chrono Cube could be mental on him because you can just get this kind of like additional rotation of abilities. Like he already has a crazy amount of abilities you can do in one turn. This would guarantee him going into the second form after doing his Stone Skin strip, which just means that he's not only is he your control, he's also your damage in one turn, which is almost to the point of unfair. I guess whilst we're in there, let's just see. Go on. Why is it always throwing me the rare crap? Come on for the video. Give me the 0.01% chance. Okay. I am actually also, obviously I can't put a mythical on my wish list, but let's flick it through. Come on. Something red. Go on. Red. No, not blue. Red. Oh, man. One last try. They're all blue. I feel like I've got just about every mythical soul apart from this fella. Obviously, I didn't have him at the time. Didn't allow me to try and get him. But there you go. Anyway, sucks to have no blessing on him. Honestly, it would mean a decent amount to have that. Anyway, he's a badass, right? So we're going to throw him into some arena fights and just sort of see him in action. So to partner with this guy, I've also got myself my Lamassu. I've built her as fast as my account will allow, which is a 431 speed. I'm now, and this is something which is crazy, by the way. So I'm at 431. I don't have any blessing. So if I got a 6-star blessing, that's like 15 speed more, I think. Was it 15 or 13? 15 speed more. And I don't have like any pluses. Like if she was +4, that's another 15 speed more. So literally that's I guess the full pay to win mode is you guarantee yourself 30 more speed than the next guy by having some of the biggest power creeps in the game. Like it's very hard to combat that in something like a siege. If I see someone with those things, I'm like, well, damn, I'm so far behind at the start. It's insane. But yeah, so it could be literally a 461 if I got those things. But anyway, super fast, 431. So I'm going speed comp, right? So we're going Lamassu as a speed buff. I think I'm going for Sifi as my kind of like secondary turn meter champ. I would rather Sifi was my fastest. I would rather Sifi went into Lamassu. But my Sifi at max speed does not hit the same sort of speed as my Lamassu at max speed, unfortunately. So actually, I've been looking at it, like I don't know why I wouldn't just change it up. So I'm just using the optimizer right now to change my build. So I'm going to equip basically a faster build on my Sifi. So I can get to like 414, steal the relic, which would get me to 420. She's still not going to be as fast as my Lamassu, but I would rather Sifi was my fastest champ, so I think I'm going to go with that. But yeah, Lamassu is just able to get faster than my Sifi right now, which is annoying. So what I'm going to do here is just grab Lamasu's relic, because a relic purely is about speed for this champion for me. Where is it? It's my only one right now that gives me a base speed that I can equip. That's going to give me another 6. And yeah, so we end up with like a 420 Sifi. Still not where my Lamasu was, but super fast. So Sifi, my first champion. The reason why I want to do that is because Lamasu's A2 and A3 are both super effective abilities. So Mania A3, I want everybody to get the turn meter gain from Sifi. I then want Lamasu to kick in and give us a load of turn meter gain for, a decision, like who's going to go next type of decision. So we're just going to grab fast boots from, I guess, my Arbiter for now, or my Warlord actually, from my Warlord. And then we're just going to grab some fast gloves. Would rather they were defensive based. Probably can afford for them to be defensive based because I don't need to be max speed. So we've got now a 419, still really fast. She's actually still nearly as quick as Sifi, right? Well, Sifi 421? 420, damn. Lamasu's just bonkers. Anyway, so we've got Sifi into Lamasu, into my anomaly now, and then I'm going to bring in an extra set of damage. Now, anomaly is going to deal with Stone Skin for me, so my other ways of dealing with Stone Skin are actually 2 mythical champions. I don't need those guys in the mix. So I might just bring Carnage in here to finish the job. Obviously, a crazy damage dealer. My one's kind of slow, pretty damn slow in this build. So we'll see if this works. I might have to switch it up and go with someone who's a bit faster. I could just straight up just go with Teox, who's faster. Probably Teox, actually. Teox is an absolute beast, even when he's not surrounded by lizards. So let's get this pumping. So tempted to buy Soul Stones right now to... In fact, the event's just ended. Who cares? The event ended. I didn't get what I wanted. Leave the credit card in your pocket. All right, let's have a fresh list. So rip some of these out. Anomalies going in here. My Lamasu is going to come in as my lead, who's another great, crazy, like good free champion from Siege. So we're getting our speed aura in all battles. We're going to go Sifi into Lamasu. Hopefully this works and the aura doesn't kick Lamasu in the lead. We'll see in a second. And then we can make decisions after that. Hopefully I'm fast. I am fast. Sifi does go first, which is great. And then I can decide. So this team does not have any worries for me around Stone Skin. Okay, so for this one, I don't need to switch my anomaly into that. So I can literally actually use a different ability here for my Lamasu and just block buffs here on Big Boy and then just go straight into form switch. Now I can go A3 to do that kind of gain myself an extra bit of ignore defense on anyone. And then we go extra turn into A2. See what these numbers look like. Could weak hit on the Duchess here. We did. But we've pounded everybody else. And we can just come in with Teox. I've evened up my AoE. If I'm scared that the Duchess might do something, I could... I'll tell you what, why not do it anyway? A2, kill her. A3, just make sure. Right? But, yeah, pretty crazy powerful team. So, damn. Sure one. 600k team power. I might just straight up lose in this one. I'd imagine he's faster than me. He's got a 30% aura. This is what I'm talking about. 6-star ascension here means that she's got 15 more speed than I can have. 6-star plus a +4. This Sifi's got 30 more speed than I can have as a base before anything else. So let's just see what the gear check is like. So yeah, Sifi goes before me. And now I will get Shrek'd. Do I have a chance? But he eats through Stone Skin and hard wrecked on that one. Okay, so these are much faster. Look at this. They're close to my speed. We don't have any Stone Skin again, actually. So we can just go straight A3 into the anomaly to basically force him to take his turn. I can open here and just say, well, why don't I? I didn't check actually if they had any polymorph, but let's assume they don't. I could just say, why don't we just try and get some True Fears out to give myself a bit of a, you know, I guess, get out of jail free card We're then going to push on. I've now got intercept on me as well because of Lamasu's A3. We're just going to grab myself that extra ignore defense into the A2 and pop 100Ks across the board. Everybody take a seat. 5-star, no pluses. I've got a good chance of being fast here. It is a speed team though, so if I'm outsped, I don't, other than Stone Skin being on, I don't have a lot of, you know, wriggle room here. So in this one, again, no Stone Skin. Wow, this is crazy actually. I think we're just going to push ourselves forwards. Again, we might as well just do it. A2, True Fears everywhere. Into swap form. Look, how many things am I doing in one turn? It's crazy actually. And then bam, pop. And she blows up through necrosis. Good try. Good try to stay alive there, Arbiter. No polys. Notice how we're not seeing much polys here. Still no Stone Steel. I actually cannot believe I'm not seeing Stone Steel on any of these people. Straight into it again then. Might as well just get it done. Oh, the one shot across the board easily. Easily. Oh dear. Odin, Marius. This is a really nasty team. Marius is someone I'm working on right now. Right now. I'm on the final bit at last. So we've got Stone Skin. He does have Lightning Cage. Both of these. Look at this. The meta's already changed, right? This is literally to stop the anomaly taking the Stone Skin. That's 100% why that's happening. So we're going to try and do it anyway. Do I want to push him forward? I do. Didn't get it. So I got feared there. And now I'll get wrecked. Really, like, that's literally a team set up to counter what I'm trying to do. Should we try one more time? So it's the fears from Taurus, which just screwed me there. Might screw me again. Did. You know, it's just like the 50-50 is always 100% when it's on you, right? Okay. Okay, we finally found a team with Stone Skin, which is so unusual. Maybe the meta's just swung so much already. But let's just check this out. So we're going to make sure that the anomaly takes a turn. We're going to, in this form now, I may as well do my A2 first anyway and get some True Fears away. Got resisted though. So see this, high accuracy team, high resistance team, which means that this shouldn't work. Now, she does have Lightning Cage, so she might protect her Stone Skin. And he is a weak affinity. So again, he might not lose his Stone Skin because I might weak hit. But let's try it. If I don't weak hit, this, whether I have the accuracy check or not, is definitely coming off. We did weak hit though. We did remove the Stone Skin over here. And we swapped it actually for the True Fear. You see that? But we did get a weak hit in, which meant that we could be in trouble. Who do I want to block here? Probably him, because I've got a chance of the fear kicking off over there. Anyway, we're just going to... shall I just kill someone and go again? I think I'm just going to kill you. You're an easy target. We're getting Necrosis out there. And then we're going to A3. And we get wrecked anyway. Damn, like Arena, the level that people play at nowadays is so much higher. We've got a poly coming up here. This is just like classic. One Stone Skin to deal with. I've got these fears on me again. Okay, so one Stone Skin to deal with. It's a positive affinity. It means 100% I will remove it. And then it's an accuracy check to see if I actually land my True Fear or not. And I didn't. See that? So I didn't have enough accuracy to deal with her. But because of the way it's coded, I do still 100% remove the Stone Skin. It's pretty busted, honestly. Pretty mad. And then we get ourselves a clear up crew from Teos there. One Stone Skin here to deal with. We're way faster than them, so I may as well just Go A2. Save my A3 on this one. I guess I may as well just guarantee the kill here. Go again. Get necrosis ticking. Everyone's dead apart from her. So at this point, we're going to remove that stone skin. She's not necrosis because of some of the previous deaths. We're going to use the A3 now to bring the anomaly back. And I guess there's no reason not to just go A2 first here. Switch form. I could do a health swap, but actually swapping health here would cost me health. So I'm not going to do that. We should go straight in for the A2 smack. So you can see generally the teams that I'm losing because I'm being, yeah, just outdone by the quality of the opponent, honestly. And obviously I could change up my team and try and counter that, but we're quite fast here. We're faster than these guys. So just going to A2. Resisted all around. We're going to just try and remove this stone skin. I don't have any weak affinity, so this is a 100% happening. Stone skin's gone, my friends. Yeah, just happening. It's actually, I mean, it's hit reasonably hard as well. No stone skin now, so Teox can just say good night to someone, or perhaps the whole team. Yeah, it's such a powerful combo, providing you're able to sort of get your setup going. One stone skin here. Pretty fast as well. I'm going to A2 this one first to try and get True Fears out there, especially on this Armand's. Oh, I got a cooldown on my... Ah, damn. Who did that? Who did that? I don't know. Who put a cooldown? Is that a relic? I think that might be a relic thing. Did not expect that one. Okay. A3 into A2. Might as well try and kill some stuff then. She keeps her stone skin for now. I got relicked. Can't sleep or anything. She's got a stone skin. Armand's is trying to come at me. Hopefully we true fear him or something. No. Now we're in trouble. Now it's the Armand show. And I can't even switch form. Maybe I'm in this form, so I might be able to block revive him here. It does. So if you think, remember, if an enemy has got necrosis, we get a double hit. So we're not going to get that. Just see what we can do. It's a one shot. It's a revive. A block revive, sorry. Am I dead anyway? Yes. Oh, man. Brutal. Brutal arena life nowadays. We're just going to make sure. I think we should go straight into damage. Can A2 first. Pup. God, I guess it was a weak hit over here, but he's got his True Fear on him. Anyway, we should be able to take him out with our Teox. It's good to have your damage dealer in a comp like this to be the other affinity, right? The person that can step in case you're weak hitting with someone else. And then really what I've got, because of mythicals, because of how strong mythicals are, I've basically got two extra supports and 2 damage dealers. That's pretty much what's going down. We're gonna try and take down her. It's not enough, but it's pretty close. Probably got True Fear out there everywhere. Okay, so we're at A3. Remove that stone skin. I think I'm just gonna sleep prayer. That's good. Okay, and then we're gonna force the extra turn to just be like, yeah, let's get our damage out now. Let's stop messing around. This dwarf's having a pop. Fair play, dwarf. Am I going to die anyway? Come on. Okay, we got block revive, counter attack. And then we're going to just come in with the A1. Oh, so many like crazy champions in this game for Arena nowadays. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. Anyway, definitely a meta changing champ. Like high end, this guy is going to be everywhere, or at least an option everywhere. Yeah, we're going to see him probably most used in live arena and siege, where you have those longer drawn out fights and you have to make those kind of like decisions. But damn, I think the anomaly is crazy. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.